No, unfortunately, you read that title right. Jonghyun's funeral was used as part of a diss track. Oh my goodness. Now, how do I talk about this without giving attention to the guy who obviously wants attention, positive or negative? You guys know this guy. That's his thing. That's how he built his career. When he's not in a feud with other YouTubers, he starts some hashtag about K-pop to rile fans up. But we're going to do this Philip DeFranco style and not give him what he wants by mentioning his name. Instead, what does his name rhyme with? Ice Cream Bar. There we go. So Cream Bar and Annoyed, we'll call the other one, decided to release a K-pop diss track. Ooh, doing the whole dissing thing toward K-pop, which is whatever, you know, what does it matter what they say? What does matter is when you cross a certain line. In the video, the lyrics go, quote, "I wonder why lately, man, they all committing, and you can guess the rest." And during this line, they showed a picture from Jonghyun's funeral. This obviously got fans angry because they're using Jonghyun's funeral in passing, something I guarantee you they know nothing about and read in a headline, for a stupid diss track YouTube video. When the backlash started coming in, Cream Bar went on Twitter defending himself, asking for proof that he mocked Jonghyun's passing. And that's because the line and picture was during the other guy's part of the song, if you want to call it that. Cream Bar claimed he didn't know about Jonghyun's picture being in it because he didn't see the finished video. But you should probably watch the finished product if 1, you are in the video, and 2, you are the thumbnail. Also, knowing the character of Cream Bar, he's known to troll a lot, just doing and saying things to make people mad, but a lot of people consider it beyond just trolling when he says things like F Jimin while showing a picture of Jungkook, perpetuating an offensive stereotype. The guy who produced the track said he wasn't aware of Jonghyun's death when he was making the song. What did I tell ya? But this guy did call for the video to be taken down. Now, the guy whose channel this actually went on, what did we call him again? Annoyed? He then posted a video on Twitter taking responsibility and said Cream Bar played no part in the edit. He also tried to explain that he wasn't mocking Jonghyun, that it was a commentary on the pressures of the K-pop industry itself. The reactions I saw from K-pop fans to this were, yeah, we understand the pressures of the industry. Fans are fighting every day for companies to treat their artists better, to take care of their physical and mental health. Fans are not upset that someone made a diss track about K-pop. It's so much more than that. Even non-K-pop fans are commenting on the lack of decency, instead of continuing down that path of starting a conversation, I guess, because some of the lyrics we can have a productive conversation about regarding the K-pop industry. Annoyed seemed to go more down the path of hostility and blatant disrespect, even saying they will never apologize and will never delete the video. Cream Bar then posted his own video, saying he accepts the apologies of those who accused him now that he's been proven innocent. I'm not sure how many K-pop fans were actually apologizing to him, let alone consider him completely blameless in all of this, but he did show some threats that he got and people mentioning his deceased mother. And there is no defending that kind of stuff. That is going way too far and only stoops to their level. It makes K-pop, along with everyone and everything surrounding it, look bad, only proving their point. Man, it was just recently that Key said he doesn't want the topic of Jonghyun or mentioning him to be a banned subject, that it was no longer painful to talk about Jonghyun. But obviously, I don't think he meant in this way. Fans are now sharing how to report the video without actually watching it, although with this probably being the most viewed video on Annoyed's channel, I doubt this is his last video regarding K-pop, especially if after all this backlash, nothing happens to the video. However, heavy backlash might be the thing that affects Jisoo's drama before it even gets a chance to air. And this all stems from another drama that you guys have probably seen in the headlines recently. For those who haven't, the drama Joseon Exorcist was just ultimately cancelled after 2 episodes because of accusations that the drama was willing to distort history and sell out its own country for money, as well as problematic depictions of major Korean historical figures. This drama came under fire after viewers noticed them using Chinese props in the historical Korean setting and criticized the production for distorting distorting history for product placements from Chinese companies. This goes much deeper with the recent political and cultural friction between the two countries. So what does this have to do with Snowdrop? Well, a synopsis of Snowdrop, which I don't know where it first originated, that will be important later, started going around when people noticed that it reads, "The story begins when a young man covered in blood breaks into a dormitory at a women's university. A young nursing student takes in the injured man and hides him from the authorities, believing that he is a student protester. The two fall in love, but as the story progresses, the woman finds out that the man is a trained spy. The spy is then ordered to kill the woman who hid him from authorities." Now, people have pointed out that the last name of the male character and the name of the female character are both taken from real life. The year it takes place, 1987, is said to be an extremely significant year in South Korean history, as it was marked by countless protests led by university students who demanded fair democratic elections, endured oppression, and even sacrificed their lives for their cause. These events are known to have ultimately paved the way for South Korea's present-day democracy. Now, I don't want to go too much further and get something wrong. If I already got something wrong, please correct me in the comments and it'll be updated in the pinned comment as always. The accusations are that the drama is romanticizing what these student protesters went through, that they are mocking and degrading a pivotal time in Korean history. Another point of backlash was that the writer of the drama graduated from a certain university in 1988, meaning she was a student in 1987. JTBC eventually came out and said Snowdrop is not a show that romanticizes or embraces the spies during the South Korean democratic movement, that these assumptions all came from an incomplete synopsis that was leaked online without context. They asked to please refrain from making reckless criticisms and conjecture before the show has even been released. What do you guys think? Obviously, a big reason I'm going to watch the drama is because of Jisoo, although I'm also a big fan of Jonghyun, but I also have to take a step back and look at this without my fanboy lenses. Yes, there are reactions out there like it's just a drama, not a documentary. There are plenty of movies out there that take real-life historical events and distort them for the storyline of that movie and ultimately entertainment. No one accepts them as an accurate depiction or a history lesson. However, as an international fan outside of Korea, I'm not sure I have a place in this conversation. Many Koreans are telling international fans, hey, it may be hard to grasp why we're upset, but if you look more into it, you would understand. I've seen people referencing the Korean movie 1987 as a good place to start. It's one of those things that is hard to fully 100% comprehend between those on the inside and those on the outside. Another example of that happened this week regarding DAY6 Jae. Jae recently garnered a lot of backlash for allegedly making, quote, crude and inappropriate comments during a Twitch livestream. Apparently, while playing a game, he's heard saying something regarding a sugar daddy. Then later on, he apparently made his in-game character move in a sexual way. A lot of Korean viewers did not seem to find any of this very funny. Comments were saying the things he did and said, like sugar daddy, were worse than curse words, that he should have and should be more mindful. Eventually, Jae released an apology on Twitter and also announced that he'll be ceasing all live streaming. A lot of international fans are defending Jae, saying that he is dedicated and works hard for DAY6, and this space is for him to interact with his friends and enjoy himself away from that side of work. He even opens that up for fans and interacts with huge names in the space to make it fun. And one of the things we all love about Jae is his realness. He seems like the nicest guy in the world, but is also genuine. Like how he reacted to GOT7's Encore and then remembered they weren't at JYP anymore. Which, by the way, GOT7's Encore won the theory poll for this week. You can see who else was on there, and if you want to vote and decide who's on the next poll, like Sejong's comeback or Wendy's upcoming solo, follow me on Instagram. Now, for those who have seen GOT7's Encore music video, you might be thinking, well, it just seemed like a self-shot, DIY kind of music video, showing the guys having a good time while recording together. What meaning and symbolism could this music video possibly have? Well, if you watch the behind the scenes, you'll see that this is not just clips from their phone photo gallery pieced together. Little things we see throughout this music video were carefully planned, choreographed, and as you can see, even though Mark said low budget, they were definitely not filming with cheap equipment. The amount of effort they put into producing this and making it seem as natural as possible also compares to the amount of meaning they packed into this song and music video. After all, this is their first music video basically on their own. The song is called Encore because the encore usually comes when a show has ended. But GOT7 sings about a promise, and that promise is that the show will always go on. That's why the music video begins with Jackson shutting the door. A chapter of their lives has closed and there's no turning back. But like the saying goes, when one door shuts, another one opens. Jackson literally opens 2 doors, ushering us into a new era of GOT7. And if you noticed, when Jackson was by himself, it was all black and white. Even when the other 6 were together, it was still black and white. It wasn't until they were all together as 7 that color was introduced into the music video. However, the colors are very desaturated, and that is to make sure the green in each frame really stands out. Now, we'll get to the meaning of the color in a bit, but I want you to notice all the different places and techniques they used to make the green stand out. Everyone else is wearing very muted colors except for Mark's sweater and the green hat. The ground looks green, the amazing use of night vision making all their clothes look green. Red also stands out at times because it's on the opposite side of the color wheel and complements the green. The sign above the door stands out, the glow from the camera's viewfinder, and the flash itself is very green. And the reason I believe they are intentionally displaying this color everywhere around them is because, as you can guess, green is a color they use to represent GOT7 and their fans. It is a way to show that even when fans aren't around, their spirit, their support, their love will always surround the members. However, almost 3 minutes into the music video, the guys show up personally sending fans a message. The message itself seems like it is or should be at the end of the music video. But just like they conveyed within that message, this encore doesn't mean it's the end of the show. And brilliantly, in spirit of that message, the music video does not end there. It continues on, just like GOT7 themselves. But now, the green does not come from anywhere or anything else but the fans. A sea of green embracing GOT7, and GOT7 returning that love by promising a never-ending encore.